starting with the name of Allah, who is the most gracious, the most merciful. Assalamu alaikum. I am Maria Ishtiaq, and today I will be speaking about effects of natural disasters on humans. Presented is a smart chart that I have made, in which I have mentioned a few natural disasters, their causes and effects on humans, and this picture which shows the destruction or effects of those natural disasters. I would like to start with meaning or definition of a disaster. So disaster basically refers to a suddenly occurred event that causes destruction to the environment. It can either be man-made, which means that there is somewhat a human intent in it, like mining accidents, or it can be natural disasters, which means any disaster occurred naturally, which will be further discussed. Flood is one of the most common examples of natural disasters. It refers to overflow of water, and that is usually over the dry places. So it has very common causes as well, like melting snow due to the high temperature, or broken dams. Broken dams also allow the water to overflow over the residential areas especially, and heavy rains can also lead to floods. Effects of flood on human lives is also too common because it can directly or indirectly lead to a life loss of humans. It can directly vanish or take a person with itself, or indirectly by destroying them or ruining their houses. It also leads to destruction of crops that is a source of food for humans. So somewhat this can also lead to death of humans or other economic destruction of human life, and the property could also be damaged through flood. That can also lead to a destruction of economic or residential lives of the humans. Another natural disaster is tsunami. It is also somewhat connected to flood and almost has same effects on human life because it also consists of water, or it also has the main element of water as a destructive part. So tsunami refers to the high and long waves of the sea, and it has some causes, that is earthquake, landslide and meteorite. Earthquake is simply shaking of ground, and landsliding refers to the in this part landsliding refers to the undersea landsliding, and meteorite is believed that it is a part of rock that is thrown or fallen from outer space to the earth, so this can also cause tsunami. So its effects are structure damage, like damages to the buildings and houses or hospitals, and deaths, direct or indirect deaths. And other than this, it has some minor destructions or effects too, like destroying momentum of daily lives of the people, or destroying the sewage systems or the pipes or everything inside the houses, outside or in the environment. And this can also lead to diseases like viral diseases because the amount of dirt is being increased due to the overflow of water. Moving towards another type of natural disaster, that is earthquake. And earthquake refers to shaking of ground, which is very common. So the causes of earthquake is seismic waves. These waves refer to energy flow through the layers of earth that causes the earth to shake. And other than this, we have another cause, that is volcanic eruption. This also leads to earthquake. And the earthquake has some like it is somewhat interconnected to the previously discussed disasters, like it causes landsliding. It like the rocks fallen through landslides can lead to destruction of houses or cars of humans. And other than this, it can pollute the water. The sand or the soil with the rocks fallen from the mountains can pollute the water or the environment. This also leads to issues or for the humans. It can lead to some health issues as well. Ground failure, which also has somewhat same consequences, and tsunami, whose effects are already being discussed. So we can say that almost all natural disasters are somewhat interconnected or connected to each other. One of the most trending natural disasters nowadays is bushfire. This refers to fire in the forests, and that is usually for a longer time, and that spreads very fastly. So a very common example is that of the bushfire recently that was caused in Australia, and that has damaged the environment and everything. So it has causes that are lightning, the simple lightning that we see, and hot temperature, which is the most obvious cause of it, that due to the high temperature the woods of trees in the forest catch fire, and that as the trees are too near, and we know that there are a number of trees in the forest, so they easily catch fire from one to another tree. And it has effects, some indirect effects on humans. Basically, it first of all, it destroys the nature, the beauty, and also the it creates the pollution, especially the air pollution that leads to human health issues like respiratory issues. It can also kill the people if any person or people are there in the forest, and it disturbs health, as I've already discussed. It leads to pollution that somewhat has very worse effects on human lives or humans' health. I would like to share some safety tips during or for the natural disasters that are to stay informed about any kind of situation. We should be aware, we should have information, and we should stay connected to the information resources. To have an evacuation plan, which means that we should know what to do, where to go if any kind of situation happens. To keep emergency kits, like to treat any wound or injuries if happens. Avoid risks, like do not go out of your houses during such situations if it's not instructed. Go to the safest place. For example, if the flood is being caused, so we should go to the up or the last floor of our houses. I wind up my discussion with the quote of Petra Nimkova, and I quote, "We can't stop natural disasters, but we can arm ourselves with knowledge, so many lives wouldn't have to be lost if there was enough disaster preparedness." Unquote. Thank you.